So everybody get test, test, test. Oh, there's an echo. Yeah, we're gonna have to mute some. Oh, oh, test, test, test. All right, that should be better. There we go. Sweet. All right. That way we don't hear the echo. I think we're good. But then I can't hear. Damn it. Hold on. I might have to lower my speakers. Can somebody say something on the Zoom?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So let me know, type of one in the chat if you're able to hear us at home. One in the chat, please. That way I can, I don't want to go through that whole spiel only to find out that you guys couldn't hear me. One in the chats. One in the chat. Chat. One chat. Chat one chat. Type one. No, this is fine. If you wanna, yeah, if you wanna open it up a little bit more, that way everybody has it. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Perfect. All right. Awesome. Everybody can hear us. All right, cool. So welcome everybody. The hostess with the mostest, Dawn, and myself, Bruno, and all of 161 users or Zoom users that we have at American Dream Trading. Well, it's not all of them, but it's everybody's slowly trickling in. It's a slow morning. As you know, the country got pounded with snow all over the place. So people are probably still out there cleaning up the ice and the snow. But we are still running the show. So welcome to another edition of American Dream Trading. Coach should be with us here shortly. He just had a doctor's appointment. So best wishes for Mrs. Coach, and hopefully everything's going okay over there. So we just did the pre-market setup for all members. So I'm not going to go through each one of them, but we are going to do a quick market recap just to make sure that we know what happened yesterday versus and also this morning in the pre-market. Richard already talked about a couple things with our members. So yesterday, and there will be nothing on the screen for me to really cover, but just obviously listen to the sound of my voice. So U.S. stocks mixed, but slightly higher. So the index is finished higher ahead of key earnings, and also we have the Fed decision week. So with the Dow Jones, S&P, and the Nasdaq um, all climbing, investors are positioned for a big tech earnings and Fed meeting possibly this week as well. Not possibly, but 100% for sure. So whether or not they and I was watching this, and again, this is something that our members and also moderators are in tune to do, is kind of see how the market's reacting or what kind of news events we have coming up. So Fed interest rates, high, low, medium, stay the same. Are they going to cut it? Are they going to keep it the same? Is it going to be flatline? Is there going to be no change from previous? Sometimes no change is a good thing, but if they decide to increase, it might unlock a new level of fear. So we're going to be looking closely at that leading up to the Fed meeting. So earnings beats were strong overall. About 80% of reporting S&P 500 companies top estimates as positive signal for corporate health. All right. So Richard was talking about some stuff this morning in the VIP, and he could also come back on the mic and just share with us a little bit of his insight as well. So the second bullet point is the sector and stock movers. So airline stocks declined due to flight cancellations. If you haven't been watching the news or you don't know what's going on in the country, in a single day they had 17,000 cancellations. It's going to cost the economy at least in the billions, if not 100 billions, for recovery purposes. And that's across like everything, right? Not only damages, but also companies that take a hit when things like that happen. So 17,000 cancellations is nothing to sneeze at. So that weighted heavily on the airline industry. The other, let me take a look. No, this is fine. This is fine. There's nothing for them to see. So, I mean, we're not going through any tickers or anything like that. Just really just listening in. Precious metals, we know silver's been doing some crazy numbers, gold as well. So for my futures gang, gold and silver hitting record levels as investors sought safe havens amid the geopolitical and fiscal uncertainty. So we know we're not living under a rock. So we know about the tariff talks, the tea, and all the things. So if you haven't been watching and paying attention, some people are turning more towards commodities like silver and gold. All right. So investor sentiment themes, caution on optimism prevailed. So markets show resilience, but macro risks, tariff, geopolitical, rate outlooks keep sentiment tempered, so under control.
Yeah, if I can
Uh,
add to that,
sure.
you brought up a good point, and that is even we talked about the Fed, all the big earnings, the Congress needing to pass the budget. All this is hitting this week, and then we add to geopolitical Japan and what's going on with Japan and the currency and the bonds that are there and how it affects the rest of the world. It is really a week where there's many things. So we talk about protecting your money here, and so holds are a very important part. And let's say that the Fed tomorrow actually doesn't do anything, which is the expectation. It doesn't mean there won't be volatility. So if you've never participated in that part of the market, a lot of times it's good to sit on your hands, watch and learn. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, we got it. AJ, I see your hand. Just give me a minute. I'll come back to you. So yeah, so we got the tariffs, the geopoliticals, all the things, cancellations, weather across the country. These are all things that can affect markets. And then, of course, we don't really talk about it, but the fear index, which AKA also known as the VIX, is modestly higher, relating a slight risk aversion. So it's just a fear index. So we talk about market sentiment. So it's not that we talk about the VIX every single day, but just understand where money or big money kind of where they position themselves. Is it too are they too scared? Are they more relaxed? Are they feeling good? These are all things we gotta also understand about the market. So key headlines that mattered. So AI investment optimism supported equities as tech leadership remain intact, but raised some bubble concerns, the AI bubble, as we call it. And then lastly, the Federal Reserve meeting looming this week had traders bracing for commentary around the rates and inflation. So everybody's kind of waiting or anticipation of that as well. So for today in the pre-market, January 27th, futures were muted to slightly lower in place ahead of major tech results. And then the Fed meeting indicating caution before key catalysts. And then early session movements. We have mixed directionality. So some indexes are modestly positive, while others reflected a profit taking and sector weakness. Financials, aka financials, are slipping. So, and then of course, macro and sentiment signals. Gold continuously strong above 5,100 an ounce, underscoring risk of positioning and safe haven demand into policy uncertainty. So for my futures gangs at home, I'm sure Mark's listening in or somebody's listening in. Maybe we'll relay that information over there. Crypto markets remain choppy but stabilizing, and then suggest risk appetite is tentative. So, and then currency markets point to cautious optimism with mixed performance across major pairs, dollar weakness versus euro strength, European euro. And then economic and event focus. Mr. T scheduled to speak today, and consumer confidence release our pre-market catalyst expected to sway sentiment. And then the Fed's FOMC meeting is the biggest event on the calendar, with the market pricing a very high probability of unchanged rates through emphasis remains on commentary. So depending on what is said and on top of what the rate will be, whether if there is signals a rate cut or if it stays flat with no rate cut, or do they decide to go back up. I don't think that will happen in terms of them increasing it, but it's anyone's guess if it's going to be it's going to be a more of a flat or a slight cut. So some economic calendar news. We have the ADP employment change weekly. That was at 8:15, 7.75 thousand. Prior was 8,000, 855. The Red Book year over year, 7.1. Prior was 5.5. Housing price index and the S&P case Schiller home price month over month, year over year. The month over month was flat at zero. Prior was negative 0.3, which is still an improvement from a negative. And then year over year 1.4, prior was 1.3, and that was a slight increase as well. 10 o'clock, we have consumer confidence coming out in about 44 minutes. We have the Richmond Fed manufacturing shipments and manufacturing revenues, and then we have Dallas Fed services index at 10:30. So 10, 10:30, 1 o'clock, and then crude oil at 4:30. Market will be closed. At least the regular market will be closed. So just scrolling down to this one right here. So January 28th, Wednesday. So right out of the gate, they're forecasting at 3.75. Prior was 3.75. So everybody, what we just said, whether it's going to be flat at 0% change, if they signal that, sometimes no change could be a good thing or no news is good. But based off of what the words that are said might have some market reaction based off of what they're signaling at or what they're hinting at, because no one knows what he's going to get up on that podium and say. But right now, the forecasted and my experience with TradingView and Economic Calendar, forecasted at 3.75. Usually they come in right at forecast at 3.75 or whatever the number is on the forecast. So if that's what we had, 3.75, to me, not to assume or automatically say there's not going to be anything, because they could throw a curveball out there. But forecasted is 3.75. So anticipating a 0% change on either up or down. But again, we will wait to see. Wednesday, January 28th at 2 o'clock, the decision rate will be announced. And then the press conference, which is the more important piece of that as well, is at 2:30, what the words coming out of his mouth are going to be. All right. With that being said, we did a quick overview. Richard, did you want to add anything else? Even though it might be
Yeah,
repetitive, what you had said this morning.
that's kind of what you brought up about something that normally we don't talk about, and I'll explain why we don't talk about it. And it was the VIX and how it's a little bit elevated. We don't use it because really all it is an indication of the ratio of puts to calls. And the reason we look at that, or the market looks at that, is because it tells you that more institutions, credit unions, pension plans, et cetera, are putting in hedges to protect themselves. And that's why I mentioned that really you want to watch your stops and make sure that they're maybe a little tighter than what they normally would be, simply because you just want to protect yourself. And that's all that is doing. That's it. Thank you.
All right, we got a few minutes to talk about our memberships. So if you're interested in sign up with us, we have a free membership, gets you in the door, allows you to chat with other traders as well. And we also have a free stocks and education section. I'm going to just slide our Discord over here so you can get a view of what it looks like on the inside. Now, of course, as a free member, you will not get access to all of these channels, but you will still have a vast majority of channels, even as a free member, where you have our stocks and education and our stock terms. You can see how much information is just poured into these slides, and also stock terms as well. So everything that you'll learn at ADT, most of it's going to be funneled through our education section. And then we have our Zoom calls, which are available as early on, starting February 1st for our VIP. It's going to be 7 a.m. And then we have our regular members, premium members, coming in at 8:45 Eastern. Everything we do is in Eastern time. So if you notice here, we have tons and tons of channels and how-to videos and training videos and future videos and crypto videos. You guys getting the point? Videos on demand. There's just a wealth of knowledge inside of our Discord. We'll also have our workshop videos. So yeah, so free membership. It costs you nothing to get in. Barcode's up on the screen. You can scan that, join us. You will need a Discord account to get into all of this goodness. So make sure that you go over to discord.com to sign up, and then link your Discord account to your WAP profile. That will take you over to WAP. And then from there, you'll also be able to see all of the other memberships we have. We have a stocks and options side, we have a future side, and then we also have a crypto side. So three main categories or main sections to be in: the premium, the VIP, the VIP gold, and also the diamond, which will be going away shortly. The diamond just wraps everything up into one, and eventually that will be going away. Diamond lifetime memberships are at 5,000, one-time deal, one-time price, and then you'll never have to pay for another recurring membership ever again. That does not include any a la carte services like one-on-one with coach or one-on-one mentorship with coach or one-on-one with the moderators, but at least they'll give you access all bundled under one roof. And I'll make it that simple to explain. So it's stocks, options, futures, crypto, and also the diamond also included any other future products that we might release. And that will be going away. So we'll be switching over to our platinum membership, and then that will give you some of the or not some, but pretty much most of what the diamond would entail, but it does not offer newer or any other services that we release. And then that will be at a yearly cost. That price will be going up, and I'll say right now we might not be throwing out links right now in the Discord, but that is a 3,500 a year, 3,500 bucks cost of DoorDash, and then eventually that price will go up. So introductory price of platinum is going to be 3,500 bucks, and then we're looking at possibly being 5,000 per year after that. So this is your last chance to scoop up the diamond lifetime membership. Of course, I'm going with the ultimate package first. Well, I did the free, and then we're doing the ultimate package at 5,000 because that is the biggest bang for your buck. We have over 215 people on our Zoom now from this morning, and that number is slowly going to increase. But for my diamond members that are on the Zoom, like Coach does every day, is it worth the price of admission? Unmute yourself and let us know.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, so
Absolutely best
Yeah.
investment ever.
100%.
Definitely.
Absolutely
So-
worth it.
We're not holding anybody hostage here. We're not, we're not paying our actors or anything like that. Those are all live members. If they told us that it sucked, trust me, they'll let us know that it sucked, and I can promise you it does not suck. So if 5,000 is too much for you for that one-time cost, we can do split pays. So 2,500, two payments every 30 days, and that will get you paid off. Just open up a help desk ticket once you get over into our Discord, and we'll get you a link to split it up into two equal payments of 2,500. If you wanted to just try us out for that premium membership, we have at 125 per month. You could do 125 per month. You have also a promo as well on that. 2 years, 750, and it renews at 500 per year after that. So up on the screen, you'll have the barcode. That's 2 years, normally valued at 2,500 for 750 bucks. You can't beat that price. But that'll only give you access to our videos on demands, our hot stock picks, our IPOs. It's not going to give you the early morning access, the Sunday futures access, and all the futures in crypto and stuff like that. So it will just give you the premium yearly, which again, it's only going to give you limited access. But again, I say limited, but there's still enough information on this Discord that will definitely give you some benefits, and will definitely allow you to trade with us here at American Dream Trading. Training and trading with us. Everything we do here is not construed as financial, tax, or investing advice. None of us at American Dream Trading are licensed to give out financial information. As always, the stock market is risky. Please use your stop, and you should be trading in your paper trading simulator, air quote, air quote. All right. So that was it on the Discord, our promos. We also have, let me quickly touch on this. We also have an ADT trading journal as well. It's $39.99, 50% off for the first year. It is set up on a yearly recurring membership. So when you do sign up, just know that in a year, it will renew at $79.99. Of course, we are looking to always enhance that and make changes to that trading journal, as we do with anything that we do here at American Dream Trading. So we're always looking to enhance that journal and keep it fresh. And of course, the new year will come out, and we'll have to redo the journal as well to reflect the new year. So it's still being worked on in terms of once we get to that yearly renewal. Also, we have for our futures members or anybody trading futures, we also have the Tradeify prop firm. Sign up code is ADT at checkout, and that will give you also a little discount on the prop firm as well if you're interested in doing that as well. So I think I ran through everything, and we have 5 minutes to the bell, just right in time. How's that for time management? And we'll go back real quick. I'll throw some levels at you. If you trade anybody in the chat, if you, let me know you're still here. Type of one in the chat. Let me know what stock you want to look at. I'll do that for the first or for the next 5 minutes. I'll start off with Apple. Apple's levels, we have 259.75, a confirmation at 260. As you could see, it kind of came up to that 259.80. So 259.75 in that ballpark. That's the pre-market high. And then 260s are waiting for our confirmation. So once we get above that 259.75, we're waiting, looking for a hold above, and then our confirmation number would be 260. To the downside, 258.75, and then to the downside, 258.50 for confirmation.
One
So
moment before
somebody's,
you go further.
yeah.
And just be aware that when the market opens, what has been going up, a lot of times we'll have profit taking to make it back down. And those that have been going down may
Recording
have
in
profit taking
progress.
to go up. Back to
Yep.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for hitting record. So right now there was a little bit of profit taking going on Apple. We'll see if it wants to maintain that pre-market channel, but again, that breakout is always the potential where we could see the profits being generated. First 30 minutes of the bell, yes, I understand out there what the TikToddlers of the world will train you on is that the first hour is always the greatest hour for profit and volume and all the things. But if boy, oh boy, if you guess the direction incorrectly, it's going to make you pay for it. So that's the one thing they fail to mention out there. And I spent some time on social media as well, looking at what's out there, what kind of air quote competition will be out there. But I promise you, if they're telling you as a brand new trader to go ahead and trade the first hour of the market, you're gonna be in some hot water or some turmoil as soon as that bell opens, because you're gonna always trying to be picking a direction. And because there's volume, yeah, for a seasoned trader it might be fantastic to trade and they know what they're doing. But for somebody that's brand new training and they go in the first 30 minutes to an hour of the market and they don't really know what they're looking at and they're just clicking buttons, I could promise you things can spiral out of control really fast. So Josh over on YouTube said IWM. So we'll have IWM. We already had levels mapped out. However, it dropped below it, the 246.10, and then the 264.10, 264.70 was to the upside. But since it dropped below it, we always wait for that bell to open up and then possibly either signal back up into that channel. But if I was to wait for this a little bit sooner or a little bit later, I should say, I see that we have some areas here. This was more of a steady uptick here on a rebound of the 263.50. And if I'm looking, let me just make this a little bit bigger so we can get the overall bigger picture. We have right here, I would say somewhere around the 263.65 area, 263.65 with that confirmation at the 263.50. But this is still not dead. We're going to see if they're going to hold this here and then possibly bring this back up into the upper channel. Again, we have 2 minutes to the bell. So it might just sit here for a little bit until the market opens up. And then once we get that open up of the market, we'll see on those previous levels. Previous day low, previous day high is always good to map out. So we'll map out our previous day high, our previous day low, and that kind of gets us in the ballpark. 263.50 was previous day low, 265.60 was previous day high. So I know it looks like I'm just drawing a bunch of lines, but these are our key critical areas, especially this one here in the middle, the 264.10. If you could see here, was resistance at one point, became support. And then the pre-market, same thing. It just ended up dipping below it. Of course, if there's any news-driven events or any numbers coming out, it might affect these numbers a little bit. All right. Anybody else have anything else that they want to say? We got about 20 seconds to the market. Members, get ready. Please use your stops. 275 people on the call, 274 people on the call. I should go ahead and get set up here. Don't force trades. All right. Let's have a good day. Market's open. So IWM out of the gate, 264.10, kind of just sitting on it. There we go. We're back up into the channel. Let's see if it stays there. Apple out of the gate, a whole lot of choppiness. Clear, concise call outs. It's on a 2-minute EWO red to the downside on Apple. If you got call outs, let me know. AMD hasn't picked a direction yet. Google to the downside. Netflix as well.
Hughes to the downside.
NVIDIA to the downside.
And Tesla down at pre-market low.
Thank you. Just be careful here on Tesla. That is a wicked candle, wicked gnarly candle.
It's a good bounce zone if you're feeling frisky, but
If you're feeling frisky.
I'm waiting.
All right. Apple's retesting that pre-market level to the upside, just shot above it to 260.
Q's testing support at 628.75.
Thank you. All right. Apple, you could see why the confirmations are so important. 259.75, 260 shot up and pulled right back down, got pushed right back down.
Nice green candle on Microsoft in a 2-minute above pre-market.
Thank you. Apple breaking that pre-market high. It's got really nice momentum. And David is waiting for confirmation as well. And Jerry, you're absolutely correct on YouTube. Call outs are a little bit delayed. So please be careful when you hear a call out.
Intel 2-minute EWO to the upside.
Thank you. All right. Apple seems to want to be holding here. Needs to hold. First 2-minute green on Apple.
Second red EWO for Tesla.
There we go, Apple. There's half gone. I'm left with 13.
Second red on Amazon.
Apple rejected off of 260.75. Now it's very important on a 2-minute EWO that you let the trade develop. So I just quickly got rid of 50% of my position, but it is on a second EWO to the upside, right? So we have a couple good things. We've broken that pre-market. We have the breakout. We have the break above the confirmation. And now it just needs to hold not only above VWAP, but above those levels that we just called out before on Apple. Now a slight breathe back isn't gonna kill me, but I just need to make sure that this doesn't fully reverse on me. back down outside of that pre-market channel or back into the pre-market channel or below VWAP. So we got to let the trade develop, right? And that's the one thing about patience with the EWO. If you don't have patience, EWO is going to screw you up every single time in terms of your mindset of how you're supposed to hold on to these things. Sharp, gnarly pullback on Apple, and Apple likes to do that also in the morning, shoots up and then pulls right back down. So we just got to be cautious and know what our out is going to be. Second green EWO on Apple. However, it is a little bit more flat than the previous one. I know it's not glamorous, but EWO trades, sometimes you gotta weather through the storm, but also make the right decision to say, okay, that doesn't look good, and then we vacate our position. But you have to be able to weather the storm.
USAR to the upside.
USAR, you said?
That is correct.
USAR had positive news on government backing them.
Thank you. Nice call out. On Apple, looking for the bounce here above VWAP. Maintain this level above it. I don't want to see it exit down into the channel. Then I'll have to be very, very careful here. So I'm still not dead in the water. The trade will still be green because I've scooped up at least half of my position. But I got to be careful here, right? It is now on a third green EWO, but it is still flat from the previous one, but I have to let the trade work. And this is one of the reasons why I am a preacher of buying in on hot gamma candles, because that will absolutely destroy you if you're not careful, right? Apple is trying desperately to find that momentum and also stay above VWAP and also find the bounce above VWAP. There we go. A nice little retest. So I'm going to go ahead and take 3 here. 3 more out of my 13. That's a nice little pump. And this is why you got to sit patient. Everybody saw, right? 150, 200, 300, I think 350 down on those last 13 contracts. But if I scared myself out and 300 was soul crunching or soul crushing, then you're in too heavy. If you're not in heavy and you're able to allow the trade to develop, or if you are heavy and you allow the trade to develop, the reward can also pay you out very nicely as well. All right, so now I am down to my last 10. I got 3 more, locked in some more profit. So now we have that retest of the 260.75. And just like when we trade the hot stocks in the morning, we always see that retest. There's nothing wrong with taking just a little bit off the top on the retest, okay? Now I just need that momentum to stay there. My calls will keep the value and the profit, but I need to get away from this area or else I'm going to be playing this game of profitable and then break even and then negative, right? If this pulls back down to VWAP. But the momentum is still there right now.
SPY is breaking and holding below pre-market level to the downside.
SPY to the downside. Thank you. Now, the more times this hits its head on that 260.75, you know, it needs to get the hell away from this area, or else it's going to get weaker and weaker. And then buyers are not going to be optimists, or there's not going to be optimism. Let's just say that 260.75, it's got to break free here. It's going to play this game of back and forth, and you're going to have to create that higher high, right? So we always talk about this, and it could very well come, but we need the buyers to maintain the confidence. 260.50 is the buyer confidence. Needs to maintain above 260.50. And there it is. David says the same. David concurs.
Hey, Bruno, quick question. Does anyone know what happened to United Health, UNH? That thing is down huge.
Richard, I possibly will have the answer for you. We went over it. He said something about healthcare this morning. I was not there early in the morning, but
Medicare payouts were much lower from the government, less than 1% when they were expecting 4%. All healthcare is going to be down. Should
And
be
that's
down.
proposed, not confirmed, right?
No,
It's confirmed.
that is what they announced yesterday. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Proposed, not confirmed.
it is proposed, not confirmed. Okay.
Got 200 more this month from Medicare, Social
Definitely
Security.
buy on the news, buy on the rumor, sell on the news.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Apple pulling back at that 260.75 from my scalpers. Well, so far the uptrend, so far it's maintaining that upward trend at the open. And Callie, I got your mic. Thank you. Here's another retest of that 260.75. I'm just thankful for the stock market gods today to not make me look like a chump. 260.75. If this can retest 260.75, I might take another few contracts off the table, because I'm not seeing a big break here. So I'll do one at a time. Right now it is pretty flat of where it's at currently. It's still up for the day, but 260.75, if buyers can't maintain this, I know where sellers are going to drive it.
Stock pick RDW to the upside.
Thank you. You just keep calling them out. I'm just going to keep watching this trade so I don't bounce around. And we definitely going to need some more volume to come back in.
It's a large pull on NOW.
NOW pullback.
Yes.
Pull. Thank you. This is a tug of war right now between buyers and sellers. Clearly, no one's winning the fight, but if the buyers can take over here, need to get back above that 260.50 at least. There we go. There's a quick real retest this time. Only because that candle's got a little bit of momentum. I'm going to take just like one little one off the top. I'm going to shave a little bit more. I do not like when stocks at the top can start to consolidate, but let's see if we have a breakout, then I'll feel comfortable leaving the rest in there. but I'm going to start protecting my assets and start taking a little bit more off the top. There we go. Nice little drive. There's one more going to be gone. All right. So now I'm down to 8s. I'm going to leave some skin in the game, as they would say. David's down to 3, but I'm only down to 8.
Also be
Again,
aware that the
yeah.
financials are under pressure because of the president's desire to put a 1-year cap of 10% on
I
credit
saw that.
cards.
I
Yeah.
saw that. Yep, I saw that. Banks were signaling they didn't really like that too much, of course, because it affects their bottom line.
Yeah, if you have a choice, if you can collect 28% or 30% versus 10.
Yeah, the average, they were saying the average, and this is unrelated to trade. Well, not unrelated, but I know we got a couple more minutes till 10 o'clock, but they were saying the average is about 19 and some change. And then they're trying to hype up the fact that they have the, 18 months interest free if they do balance transfers, trying to get consumers to understand that they're still getting the big end of the stick. But I doubt that they're getting the big end of the stick, and how many people have the ability to transfer. So
It depends on your definition of what that stick is.
yeah. And whether or not they actually have another card to be able to transfer too. So, and of course, credit worthiness to open up another card if they're already maxed out. It definitely would offer some relief, not really beneficial for the banks that issue those cards, but we shall see. Right now, Apple's kind of at a stalemate here at that 260.75. However, it is staying above 260.50. So if you notice, I haven't shaved much more because it is making a push to try to break free from that 260.75. And I would say David is to the T with these levels: 260.75, 260.77. He's off by 2 cents. Y'all can open up a help desk ticket and ask David for those 2 cents. And I'm just kidding, people. But for me, it's spot on. So 260.77 is where we're at here. But it definitely needs to break free here sooner than later. Need a little bit more volume to come in. There we go. So notice I'm not freaking out or panicking. I know it's paper trading. I get it. There's no emotions. I still wouldn't be freaking out, even if it was 4,500 bucks. But now let's see where we end up with this candle here. Just keeps hitting its head on this line at the 260.75. We've now exceeded to 260.80. Momentum for the short term is still there. 261. If I can get it to 261, I'll take one more off the table. There we go. There's one more. And 2 more. 3 more. And I'm left with 5. Now with that upward momentum, I might not be in a rush to, if I can get clear and a little bit higher and maintain that profitability and also maintain the price on those contracts, I might not be in a rush to get out, right? Because now I'm seeing some really good things on my indicators, but it's making a push. Now we're gonna see what the next level is gonna be. And I always fill into the gamma candles or the nice big green candles, because those will be your best fills. Coach will be back. I promise you. Coach will be back. He just had a doctor's appointment this morning. Life gets in the way sometimes.
I see the first 2-minute EWO bar on SPY.
On SPY, thank you.
Be careful because the 200 is right here on SPY. Just be careful right there.
Yeah, remember we identify the 2-minute EWO. Now we're going to look for that second bar. We got our second bar. We're still at the 200. Remember, what roadblocks do we have? The 200 is there. We're also inside of that pre-market area, but 695 was pre-market level to the upside. Does not mean that you can't enter, but just be careful with that 695, right?
Yeah,
But we
especially
gonna
on top of the
say
channel.
694, 67-ish, break and hold above that.
Yep.
695 to confirm.
Thank you. So nice little strong candle above the 200.
If you are in it since the rebound, then you're good. If you're not in it, just be patient.
Back to Apple. Our EWO is still growing on the bottom.
SPY is now on a double top from the pre-market.
Nice little retest there, 261. Need to see it hold above 261. There we go, little fella. I'm going to go ahead and just sell one more into that candle. And two more into that candle, and I'll leave the last three. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my stop. I mean, you should have a stop regardless, but you know, if you know how to sell, you should be able to know a mental stop. If you set a mental stop, you know you got to hit that button. So now we'll just set our stop and we'll let this kind of develop its way out. So I'll set something really low. My stop is in place.
AMD first green
Go ahead.
2-minute EWO to the upside. AMD, Bruno.
Thank you. AMD to the upside. And I'm going to go ahead and just set my stop here. 565. No matter what happens here, I'll be green the rest of the day. So I don't want to set it too tight. I want to give it some room to breathe. And I'm going to switch over to AMD. So I'm going to let that kind of develop itself. We'll go over to AMD. 254.15 was that pre-market level. That would be a good level. I'm still going to maintain that level here. First green EWO, but we still have the 200 as well. Similar situation like we saw with SPY. So in this case, I would like to see it break above that 254.15, waiting for that second EWO bar being bigger than the first one, right? So the second one's got to be
also
bigger.
first 2-minute EWO to the upside.
Yeah.
Q's first 2-minute green EWO. Thank you.
695 is going to be everything on SPY today. Here we go.
So my AMD traders, I'm going to sit patient and wait. This isn't a green light just yet. Looks good. Nice momentum. I'll wait for that second bar to close. Or second bar to open up, I should say. Second bar is there, but we're still sitting on the 200. Volume is increased. But let's see what we got here at the 200.
Resistance on the Qs at 630.50.
630.50 on the Qs.
Needed to break and hold above that to continue higher.
Moderators, as always, if I'm here, that means I can't be over in the Discord, right? So if we could just post those sales for today, please. Coach is asking for them in the mod lounge. Please and thank you if you haven't done it already. All right, so AMD, like I said, waiting for that. Even though we got a second green EWO, we're still in a risky area, right? So we got a level 254.15 and also the 200. So it makes me want to wait a little bit just to see where we end up. Now, of course, the momentum was there up until that point. Yes, the contracts will be a little bit cheaper when you get that little pullback on the calls side, but you're taking a substantial risk now that you are above VWAP, but you still have those two levels to contend with. I mean, if you dipped a little toe, I mean, but again, we're ignoring the fact that those levels are there. Somebody over on YouTube, PMR Racing, says SPY is flying.
Yeah, it's new high there.
It's above 695.
Yeah, it blew right through that double top like it didn't even exist.
Yeah, not a lot of momentum. It pulled back a little bit, but not much. And then
Nothing
it
to
went
get.
through crazy.
That double top didn't even exist for SPY.
Yep, frustrating.
Well, here's the thing about SPY. When you start to see those big green candle right under a double top, this is where you have to be very careful. It's not like it's doing a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and touch it. It went boom, boom, like big candles. And when it does that, you have to be really good at scalping because he did pull back a little bit, but like for like 10 seconds.
Apple EWO traders, you're looking mighty nice right about now. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop up 575. Give it a little bit of room to work. And like I said before, nothing like a green EWO trade to start the day.
In the 260s?
You said what now? 260?
The 260 contracts?
260, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was like right on the cusp. So if it flipped over to 260, I'm like, I'm asking for trouble. If I was one below it, like what was that, 257.5?
Yeah.
Then I would have to pay a little bit more. But at the top of that run, I was like right on the cusp of the 260. So I was like, man, this better not come back. But 260 is what it's at right now. So we got shift change in 2 minutes. And I might move this up to 590. There we go. 590. It gives me a whole 20 cents to work with. I mean, that might be a little too tight. 35 cents maybe. Should be at 35, 40 cents. But we'll see.
Well, see, so on mine, my average cost is 657, and then right now those contracts are around 750, and I have my stop at 710.
I'm about to get stopped out right now. Yeah.
So see, I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving enough breathing room so that it can come all the way back and test 261 because we never got volume. So you could still see bigger retest on your runners because if you notice from the time we did that little breakout, the volume was just dropping.
Yeah.
So what you'll see a lot of times is we'll come back and test our previous strong area, which is right here at the 9 EMA and the 261, and then you'll get a better bounce off of that. So that's what I'm trying to give enough space for on my runners.
Yeah. And that's a good observation, right? If you have the ability to have a profit in between where that support will be, I just got stopped out, but you may not be so eager to move that stop up to keep it 20 cents, 30 cents. You might want to give it a little bit more room to kind of let it do its thing and come back down to retest, like David said. But yeah, that was, I mean, for me, it might have been a little foolish to tighten it up on that one. I could have let it go a little bit longer and not get so eager to tighten it up. So
Shift change.
shift change volume. Let's see if we got any.
NVIDIA in your high.
NVIDIA as well. And then let's go back to AMD. AMD's sitting at that 200, right, folks? So if you were to get an EWO right at that 200, you'd be sweating right now because you're saying to yourself, well, I see the EWO and I made a play on it. Why didn't it do what it was supposed to do? But if you look, the second bar was bigger. The momentum is there, but you're still going to be sweating because it's starting to flatline a little bit and it's starting to curl back just a tiny bit. That doesn't mean it's a dead play, but you're just in a situation now. If you ignore the indicator to 200 at least, and that level, the pre-market level of 254.15, now you'd be in a position where it's like, well, I saw the EWO. I thought this whole EWO thing was I wait for the bigger bar and I'm just going to go ahead and jump in head first. But the momentum already carried you up to that point to get you to that EWO. Now you have to see if that momentum will continue, because by the time on a 2-minute bar that you see it develop over 2 minutes, 2 minutes is a long time. 4 minutes is a long time. So you have 2, 4, 6 minutes to go by. And now you're in the EWO because all you did was look for the 2-minute EWO bar and didn't do anything else to observe that you were approaching an area that might have some resistance. In the 200, you might see that. Apple coming down to that 261, David.
Yeah, see, so my one that I had at 710, that one got stopped out. And so I have one left, and that one's just a little bit above break even. Like I said, my contracts were average 657 and I have them at 675. Or the one. But see, that's why so many people freak out with contracts, because it's so hard to judge how much you need for breathing room, because you could travel back 75 cents in one huge candle and it could be 20% in your contracts, but you could move down 75 cents in four tiny slow moving candles and you could only lose 10% of your value. So that's why people struggle with the stop losses, and that's why I'm trying to get more and more what is it called, talking more and more about the placement of stop losses when I'm in those trades, because I get questions all the time about, well, how did you not get stopped out on that breathe back? Well, because my stop was way below break even. Oh, and now we're up in the profit, and so we're only up, I think we were up about 15 to 17%, and one of my stop losses was just above break even, the other one was a little bit higher. So I'm protecting the trade, but I'm also trying to calculate breathing room, and it's like I said, it's real hard when you're trying to calculate the options breathing room in comparison to just what you're seeing with the actual stock itself.
Yeah. And on options also, it's that if it's got that upward momentum, the call will retain. But once you start to kind of slow down like a train on the tracks, and you start to kind of either consolidate then the options, and then all of a sudden you go downhill on that train, then it's like it's got to stop that momentum. And then once it kind of stabilizes, those option prices will also stabilize too. So that's just my observation. Always trying to calculate a stop, and you're like, well, everything you had just said with the candles. I mean, if the price kind of is at a standstill on the share price, but there's an acceleration and the momentum is back up in your favor, those option prices will move accordingly. But if they kind of start to get stagnant, then the option price isn't moving as you think it should move, because you see one little green candle now on Apple. You see how Apple's share price just pulled back, and that red candle on the option. So it's like that momentum. And then if you get coupled with those big red candles, then your option will take a tumble, or your option price will take a tumble with it. Logan, I'm not sure about the question. It said stock can only buy calls and not puts, correct? Only options can buy both. I think I know what you mean, but yeah, when you're buying shares of something, you buy the share and then you're waiting for the price to go up. So that's kind of like your call, but it's not call to call, right? You're just buying at a cheaper price and trying to wait for that price to go up where you turn a profit. And then on the put side of it, and not really called a put, but it's a short, you would sell the short the stock and then you would wait for the price to go down and then you would obviously make the money because you're shorting it, you're borrowing the shares, and then when you buy them back, you end up collecting the difference because remember, you sell it, price goes against or goes in your favor to the downside, you're collecting the difference and you're shorting it, but it's not technically considered a put, it's just a short, right? You're shorting the stock, even though that's kind of the same analogy, like you're buying a put with the intention the stock's going to go down. Hopefully I answered that correctly. If I'm not understanding you 100%, but let me know. Yeah, 100%, Jerry. He should be not touching options, but just learning how these things, the mechanics work. Buying shares. Not to call you out, Logan, but we kind of have to call you out a little bit. So just make sure you're not messing around with options. If you don't have it down, we do have videos on options, so to understand how they work. But let me know. Let me know if that answered your question. Got to learn to be uncomfortable before you can get comfortable. All right. Power hour came and went. Shift change came and went. I'm over here calling it power hour. I always get those two mixed up. I don't know why. Shift change. Power hour is at 3 o'clock. Shift change is at 10 o'clock. Learn the difference, Bruno. Learn the difference.
Well, at least you don't have east and west mixed up. I mean, come on, you'd have a real problem then.
Can you imagine north and south? I need you
You're
to
like,
go south, sir. I am going south.
right? Like, well, 12 hours, and then we need you to substitute so and so for, and then come back. And you're like, all right, cool. And then you fly north, like, oops.
Nice
I have
strong
problems
bounce.
with left and right.
Your other left. Your
Yeah.
other left. Strong bounce on VWAP on Apple. Your EWO is not 100% shot, but it did drop substantially there. So, of course, it all depends on your entry. But above VWAP, still bullish. Below VWAP, bearish. How long it stays there, that's the question. So we're back above the 261 on Apple, which is fantastic. Just seems like they don't want to give up just yet. But remember, we're going to have a double top situation here coming up at that 262. So
Qs have pulled back to the 21 and have held it and are bouncing back up now, testing that floor at 630.50.
Oh, we got Arlo over on YouTube. Arlo, good to see you, Arlo, over on YouTube.
Morning, Bruno.
And on the Zoom call. Hi-yo. Double whammy. Val said MOVE halted up. Rhino said GITS also halted. Good little call outs. Let's go back to AMD. AMD, now you're starting to get paid off. See, this is all about that patience, right? So you were sweating a little bit, but now you're back to the upside above that 254.15 on AMD. Go AMD, go. So notice how long you had to wait for that EWO on as you're waiting. If you dip the toe in it, or maybe you said 2-minute EWO now pays off, you would be having a sweat for 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, at least 10 minutes worth. But now you're back to the upside on your EWO entry. But like I said, if you did dip a toe in it, you still have to sit through all that. It's always going to require you to sit through that stuff. Well, not sit through it in a negative way or in a dumb way, but in a smart way, right?
SPY approaching double top.
SPY with the double top. Hudson, you weren't dead in the water there, buddy.
695.50.
Because I'm
you know what happened, it stopped me out.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna
then
say I'm feeling
yep.
Hudson would have shorted that. That's what I think would have happened, but you were still in a really good position to
I
short.
shorted it and it stopped me out before, like that green wick up there. See that
Yep.
green wick? Right,
Yeah.
like the third one and right in the middle. That one stopped me out on that short.
Yeah, here's another possible double top shorting situation. I am not a master scalper at SPY, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave my fingers off this trigger. I had a good day, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that alone. But anybody else, feel free.
Just hang out with us at AMD. You know?
Yeah,
AD.
right.
Yeah, just stay with us. We missed you. We missed you,
Yeah.
buddy. You were at Apple this morning. It's all good. I know.
258.30, that's way up there. Let's see if we can get another level on AMD sooner. We got that 256.15, which is that pre-market low. 256.15. We had also previous day 256.15. So I'm gonna go with that 256.15 on the next major level on AMD. But we are now pre-market high, beat that, and also high of day beat that as well. We're at that new high of day. So
Second green Amazon.
anybody, and I want honesty and transparency here. So anybody try to trade AMD with the 2-minute EWO at the 200, and then also did you wait patiently for that break of the 200? Which one did you do? Did you do the first one or did you do the second one?
I got in on the break of the 200 and I'm still in it.
Okay. Good man. And if you didn't, that's okay too. On the break of the 200, but how many people did it at the 200? And if nobody says anything, I'll take that as no one did it. But if you did it, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm just want to say if you dipped a little toe, maybe possibly a little toe.
I almost spot when it was still under the 200 just because of how hard it was pushing up. I was pretty sure it was going to break through. I decided to wait, but I almost clicked the button.
Almost, yeah. All right, so go back to your trade now and focus in on it. We don't have to talk about it anymore. I want you to trade the trade. So now remember, we broke that 254.15. Would love to see it find support here sooner than dipping below that 254.15 because that is now the new support. And we'll treat that as such. But want to make sure that you don't get burnt on it. But don't, it's not a whole straight panic. But if you shave them, if you got them, perfect. If you didn't, now you're in a little bit of a pickle because that is one gnarly, wicked candle. Gnarly red candle. Back to the downside. Let's see what that would have looked like on the contract, shall we?
Would that be a dill pickle?
252, 252.90 in the money would probably be 252.50 around there. So we're going to look here and we're going to see what that would have done to you. So looking at the bottom part of the chart here, sitting at that 665, you're slightly almost break even if you are at the 200. If you got in at the break of the 200, you're probably in the break even situation. But that was one wicked red candle, man. But momentum though, how much you could have made, 690 all the way to $8. It's not a bad day. It's not a bad day if you got rid of some. But again, you're not out of the woods just yet, right? You're at that 254.15 in terms of out of the woods. You're not in a dangerous spot just yet. Just kind of let it do its thing. And then hope that the buyers will step in here and hold and prop it up and just continue. There's going to be take profit. Any run, you're going to see the take profit, whether it's here, two areas on the screen. This area is a take profit. This is a take profit. And then of course, this is a take profit. So 3 sections that they're going to take profit. The question is the run over? And the answer is no yet, but we got to anticipate these pullbacks. Breathe backs. Sorry, I said pullback. Breathe backs. We're going to anticipate these breathe backs every time. But the trend is still your friend. Don't ignore the trend. Stay with it in terms of a smart decision to stay with it until it breaks. That first one is there, second one is there, third one is there, fourth one is there. So these are your structures. Coach doesn't talk about structures, but I know that if I have, whoa, that's a crazy line. We have one there, one down here, one down here, one down here. So don't sit through and break all those structures if that does happen. The first one is established, but that 252, I'm not going to be hanging out at VWAP. At VWAP might be the saving grace, but if it breaks below 252, I'm not going to stick around to find out. Stick around and find out. But they pumped the brakes on it. I like the brake pump. They just got to maintain it back above the 250, 415. They pumped the brakes. Brakes are pumped. Pump the brakes, pump the brakes. All right, y'all. If you're interested in joining our group, our community, come on over. QR code will be up on the screen here momentarily. We have
IWM first 2-minute Evo green.
Thank you. IWM. Free Discord. Join our free Discord. Sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. We all have all different types of memberships for you. Also, if you are a member of ADT and you want to refer someone to come over, you'll gain 10% on our affiliate program. We have affiliate program, 10% of referrals to American Dream Trading, and also at home as well. If you're a free member, you can refer people as well. We'd like to see you sign up. Who knows? You might even refer somebody, make a little bit of coin, and then get yourself a membership. You can use that money towards your membership as well. Diamond lifetime memberships, $5,000. That's all recurring memberships, premium, VIP gold, futures, crypto, anything that's on a the recurring membership. The a la carte items are not included. ADT journal, any a la carte stuff like that. This is strictly on the recurring memberships that we would do: premium, VIP gold, crypto futures VIP. All right. And of course, our deal of the day, we have also the premium yearly, $500 for the first year, renews at $1,250. And then we have 2 years for $750 as well. That's a $2,500 value. $750 for 2 whole years gives you plenty of time. All right, AMD, you see they couldn't hold above that 254.15. Hopefully, these guys locked some in, but 252 is what would be my absolute out. If it does not bounce on VWAP, I'm not going to stick around to see what's going to happen. But that first one has broken. Now we're looking at that second one. Second one is gonna bring you down to VWAP. So hopefully it bounces here on the 200 first before it gets to that point, and then it kind of keeps everything intact. If it comes down at 252, you're in a dangerous spot. All right. Dangerous spot as in if it breaks below that, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So I'm not trying to panic you or panic sell, but the 200 first, we're below the 254.15, back inside that pre-market channel from this morning. But buyers are starting to get fatigued here in large numbers, right? So more buying, more selling than buying.
Yeah, please be aware that since today is the first day of the Fed meeting, as we get later in the day, you are going to see the stocks more range bound because nobody wants to go to an extreme outside. So be careful and you'll see it.
Yeah, so we're talk about uncertainty, Richard. Is that what you're saying? the uncertainty of the market. Nobody's going to want to drive things up into crazy astronomical prices. They're going to keep it kind of stabilized until they figure out what the news is going to be. Is that what you're saying?
That's, boy, that can't explain it better.
They're not going to panic sell, but they're also not going to panic buy. Is that a word we ever use? Panic buy?
You may have a person that wants to try to push it higher, and then he'll look behind him to see if other people are playing follow the leader and nobody's following.
And then, by the way, and then he's out there on his own. He's got the
Correct.
shotgun. He's got the gun in hand. He's like, "Where'd everybody go?" For all the movie buffs out there, it's the scene from hold on, it's gonna come to me. Hold on. I know it. Kick-Ass. The scene from Kick-Ass where they push the guy, they give the guy the gun and they push him out into the lobby, or not the lobby, but into the room, and then he's just standing there and everybody else is hanging behind the wall. Yeah. And then he gets knifed. That's the scene it's from. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Bruno, if you say so.
Paul Walker?
I think it was Michael Cera, maybe.
No, Paul Walker wasn't in that one. No, it's Kick-Ass. I'm Kick-Ass. It's, I mean, it's
medium.
not
I mean,
old.
Susan Sarandon's in it, so. No,
2013.
she's not. I made that up.
I don't know, what the TikTok algorithm will do if I start playing a YouTube video, but I can pull up the scene for everybody to see.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
But I think TikTok's gonna
We'll get
flag
hit
me,
and-
copyright infringement. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stay off of that.
It was McLovin.
Was it McLovin? No, oh yeah. He was in that one. He was the mother effer. That's it.
Jim Carrey was in there too.
Jim
Part two.
Carrey, yeah,
Part
Jim
two.
Carrey, Big Daddy. Oh no, wait, not Jim Carrey. Hold on. Was
Big
he?
Daddy's Adam Sandler.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, thank
Nicolas Cage.
you.
Batman.
You're screwing me up, man. You're screwing me up.
It's been so long.
Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, the cues, now I've had 12 doji candles in a row out of 15.
Over to the cues. Can we get back to the task in hand, Bruno? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
And if it keeps having problems to go higher, that should tell you at some point it's going to pull back.
Bruno, Josh C in the chat asked if we could look at open.
We sure can. We sure can. Give me 1 second. He heard me this morning. He's like, "Oh no, don't get rid of open. That's my boo." So yeah, pre-market should have been able to well, if you're able to short it. I mean, it's shares, right? I don't think they have options on open, but yeah, we're back up into that pre-market now. So back into that pre-market channel. We're above VWAP, but it's trending in the right direction. 2-minute EWO was in full swing. However, now we're at a inside of this pre-market channel, and we're back to the similar situation with the 200 sitting there on the 2-minute. But yeah, if you missed that run, once you got above VWAP, you should have been in a much. I mean, right now this is your EWO, right? So, but you would have been still in the red. So that's not really and open's a little bit trickier because it takes a while for these candles to move, and that EWO might take a while. So also that's another good lesson to learn with the EWO trading and how long it takes you. I mean, momentum can be stopped if a like for example here, if a stock consolidates, goes sideways for a little bit, then those EWO bars will start to lose and fade away, and then eventually setting yourself up for an EWO to the upside. But by the time you got here, see these two, and you're looking at the 200, now you're in a similar situation that we saw with AMD, where we got it to the 200, but we're back above VWAP. So, but the EWO is starting to lose its lackluster here on this side on the end. So,
And if
but
I
the
may
200
add,
yeah,
Open does have options, but at the price that Open shares are at, you're almost crazy to go on something that has more implied volatility. This is a perfect share play if you were going to play shares.
yeah, they do have options. Okay, so
Yeah, they do. But I'm an option player all the time, and when I was in Open, I just did shares.
it's like trading forward with options. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying sometimes when the price is so low, it doesn't make sense to do the options because the shares, they're positive as long as I hold them. I don't have any expiration until I decide to have that expiration and close it, right?
Yeah,
And
but what I'm
shares
saying
are
is
free.
as an example,
Shares are free. Did somebody say that?
Well, for real, I mean, options cost money, right? 50 cents a contract is fine on a $6 contract, but if it's like a $1 contract, that adds up quickly.
This one's not too bad. It's 12 and 40 cents.
Is it
One-
everyone that charges 50 cents per contract?
No, actually, you're right. Some are
no.
less.
I'm using Power E-Trade. That's what
Yeah,
they
that-
charge. 50
Same
cents.
E-Trade, yeah. That's what I'm on.
Depends on your broker.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Webull charges 50 cents for SPY, 50 cents
Oh,
per contract, but I don't think it does not charge 50 cents for the other ones.
how much less?
Much less. Yeah, there's like a transaction fee, but it's very, very, very small. I guess I don't know if I would call it a transaction fee, but there's a fee established to it, but it's very, very minute. But on SPY, I believe it's 50 cents. Let me go back over here real quick.
ETFs can get charged differently.
Yeah, let me look.
Just
This
remember,
one.
you're always paying somewhere, right? Typically, the cheaper the the cheaper the contract price, the worse the fill.
What do you think of
Could be.
SUPX?
Makes sense.
Riding it for a while.
Amazon's going for it.
Amazon.
New high day and climbing.
And Miranda Arlo, we got another journal question ticket just opened up.
Just saw it. Thank you.
Amazon had a lovely little EWO there. It's on promo, Don. It's on promo. Oh, maybe, yeah. We're still gonna run that probably towards the end of this week, maybe, and then we'll put it back to regular price.
Yeah, it's 50% off.
Yep. But I would be more concerned with those diamonds being going away. So, because remember, the diamonds was that everything that we create in terms of services, in terms of like recurring revenue, recurring membership. So, I would definitely not delay. Try to muster up some courage to or scrap up some funds for that one, because once that is off the table, I don't know if it's going to come back. That's
That's what
just
I've
my
been trying to do.
But anyway, all right, it's 10:30. Let me take a look at the chat real quick.
While you're looking at the chat, I have a question. So if somebody does the diamond and they split it up into two payments, do they get access to the diamond right away on the first payment?
They do.
Okay,
They do.
just curious. Good.
Yeah, they get
And then
access.
1 month they have to pay the other half, right?
Correct. Yeah, and if they don't, and if they're not able to, then they will forfeit the diamond, right? So
Yeah.
or if the payment fails or whatever. So I gotta put that out there, transparency. If you can't come up muster the other half, then you would have access for the diamond up for those 30 days. And then it will shut it off if the payment isn't completed. But
So you're saying just a legitimate gentleman's agreement then, right? No strings attached. Like y'all give it to us if we pay y'all for it. I mean,
yeah, why wouldn't we? Yeah. Well, you go ahead and set up a gentleman's agreement to or ladies
It's an
agreement to
honors
pay.
code.
Yep. And then we'll activate it. You'll have access right away. And then in 30 days you come back, you pay the rest, and you'll continue to own it for the rest of your or the rest of ADT's life. I should say it like that. The rest of your life.
man, not gonna
Yeah.
lie, Bruno, that was the best thing anybody's ever done for me in my life was splitting up that payment into two $2,500 segments.
Yep. Well, we'll help people out when we can, and people that are on this call, they know the deal. They know exactly what was done for them, and it gave them the opportunity to continue working with the Diamond membership, and they took care of the rest when the time was due, and now they have a Diamond. So they know all they gotta do is reach out, talk to us, and we'll try to figure something out. So we don't hide behind the computer. If something goes down, you always open up a ticket, talk to us like grown adults. Everybody's a grown adult, and we'll have a conversation, a discussion about it. And that's with anything that we do here. So that's the beauty of it. We don't ignore you. We don't ignore emails. We don't ignore messages. We don't ignore help desk tickets. Customer service is the top priority for us here at American Dream Trading. And that's just a pure testament to the moderators as well, so that are here working endlessly throughout the day and throughout the night. So if you ever have an issue, you'll have somebody to talk to. Let's just say that. Somebody to chat with. But anyway, Amazon really going for it. Doesn't mean
Thank
go
you,
buy
Danny,
now.
for that call out.
Yeah, doesn't mean go buy now, but wait for those levels. Let's go back to Apple. Apple dipped below VWAP. So we might kind of see this now, kind of play this, the teeter-totter game, up, down, up, down, up, down. AMD still alive. You're still alive on AMD. I don't know how much more you can squeeze out of this rock. Richard, I see you. I see you, Richard. Netflix, and then the real winner, NVIDIA as well. And then Open is kind of just doing its thing sideways as well. And then Soxel, again, another real winner as well. Spy is doing spy things. Tesla is also not making up its mind here if it wants to go down or wants to go back up. But Apple's in a dangerous situation here. So you're below VWAP. You already started the 2-minute EWO to the downside. So you might be looking the opposite direction. But we have that pre-market low of 258.66. And that is it. That's it for now. Ford is making a run for it. Double top situation. 1375, 1377. All right. 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes to go. Appreciate the kind words over on YouTube that I haven't decided yet. 25. Appreciate you for being here today. I can't see the comments on TikTok. If somebody's got a comment over there or an answer or a question and answer kind of situation, let me know. I can bring up TikTok here shortly.
That might be the two cleanest touches on VWAP I've ever seen on SPY.
Spy.
Nice little tippy toe landings and bounces.
Touchdown. Touchdown.
But you do have a wedge forming, or a bit of a pennant because the Highs are lower, so unless we can break past the 695 30 to 40 area and hold it, we're in a channel, possibly a pennant.
I'll leave SPY up on the screen there, Palm. Keep that on the
I don't
screen.
think too many people are going to trade it. It's not that awesome today. It's a pretty good little channel, but I think there's probably other things better to trade.
It's making a run for that double top there.
It's just a resistance area. It's got to break and hold 695.40, so we need to hammer its way out of there.
I'm asking for trouble. I am asking for trouble. I do not want peace. I want war. Oh, man.
What are you forcing trades?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You
my
following?
little David just jumped on my shoulder with his pitchfork.
And I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm over here keeping myself occupied, answering questions in the Apple chat and telling them, nope, don't take this. It's too risky for most of us.
Yeah.
Well,
Got a whole
we try to protect people, right?
Yeah, everybody steady as she goes. Come on.
Steady the ship, Captain. Steady the ship.
Because inevitably, especially when you get these little channels, it's like all of a sudden you get a couple candles in your direction, then you hop in, then it's like, okay, well, I didn't realize it's in a channel, and it whips back and takes a stop out,
It broke out. New high day.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not really.
Not enough.
It's a break, but no hold. You got a
Oh,
green
not yet,
super trend.
Listen, I said it broke out, okay? I said new high day. Didn't say it was a great play to the
Sorry.
upside. I'm just saying. No,
Look
I'm
at me
saying
jump on you.
no,
Not yet.
Mr. Ofer over here.
We got a green shipping trend, so let's see. It's going to develop.
He's looking at that super trend signal there.
No, I'm just saying.
On
You
the
know
2
what?
minute.
I never trust SPY regardless. So
Test. I'm back, I think.
yeah, you're back.
Yes.
That was scary. Went out for a moment, came back. Thank God for the blessings and things that you can get.
And he's gone.
4 candles.
SPY needs to hammer up to like 83 to 87 to have a chance at pulling back and holding that level. Otherwise, if it rejects anywhere under 70, it'll drop all the way back.
And for those of you who don't know, that's a red super trend.
Also, SPY is on the top of the regression channel. I don't know if you want to pay attention to that.
SPY.
Oh, nice. Good job.
What's
Who said that?
What's
Me.
that? What's that? Shorta, you said?
Over, nice.
Right at the
There
top.
you go. It was a little red, but now it's going a little green. Almost. Gonna take you higher.
I just want to take you higher. I'm going to start singing.
There it is. Went higher.
Within a penny of where it needs to break.
SPY just took a hymns. SPY just took a hymns.
SPY is just not doing what it's supposed to do today. That's the second double top it blew through.
Which one?
SPY.
SPY.
It's working a channel. It's just working an ascending channel. It's on the regression channel. Once you got those 2 points on VWAP, then you pull the other line up to the high of day, and then it should come back up and retest the high of day. Well, I mean, not the high of the day, but the upper part of the regression channel.
Right. Well, we were at the top of the regression channel and it still went through it. It's pulling back a
The
little now,
regression,
but
there were not the trading view regression channel. The channel that the regression channel on trading view is always lagging based on the full chart and including the pre-market. Once you get into the opening bell, things trade differently. So if you were to draw a line across those two VWAP touches and then pull your confirmation line up to the first high of the day, that would give you your bell to bell regression channel. It's a little bit of an overshot because what we use is the trading view tool, but
right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's trying to pull back, but it looks like it's finding support on 695.50.
Well, the support's going to be all the way back down at 695.27.
I know that's what I was banking on when it hit the double top, it would go down there.
Oh yeah. So and to the penny, I said realistically, I said we need to smash our way up to the 83 to 89 mark, roughly 83 to 87 at the very least, in order for it to have a chance of pulling back and landing on that area, somewhere between the 27 to 38 area, and hold that area. Because anything short of 70, it stands a chance of wicking or breaking through or finding some sort of weird consolidation. And it went right to the penny, right to 70. It's like if you sit and watch something long enough, right? And clearly other traders know the exact same thing.
Yeah, Richard lost power, so that's that for Richard. Hopefully he gets it back.
This is where you rely on institutions to give it, that vote of confidence and even hammer it up there for a little bit and hold a few shares. But we'll see. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. And a penny. Nobody wants to stick their neck out.
Yeah, I got a
That's
line
okay.
right there at 695.70 and it keeps hitting its head on it.
To the penny. Yeah, that's
Right.
so. If it consolidates here for a little bit, it can walk there too, which is even better. We'll see if it does it. Otherwise, if you got into calls off of VWAP, you picked up SPY contract 695 strikes for about 70 to 71 cents a piece, and you're now at $1.18 to $1.20 a contract, so pretty nice gain. And then you want to use the base of the candle and the wick prior to this one to stop yourself out if you're a scalper. If you're an EWOer, your stop is closer to 695.40. Actually lower than that, but this is looking a little more channely. So if it's, excuse me, 1 second.
I always keep a bottle of water at my desk there, Palm.
Yeah, I do. I get a cup of coffee next to me. But in this case, because SPY is a little more channely, and the EWO on SPY can be very just super messy. Like it keeps busting the 21 on the downside to shed people. You want to protect your trade a little bit better on this. Otherwise, you're taking a really just crazy, crazy wild ride of like 50% of the cost of your contracts. And if you're going to EWO SPY, that's a lot of elbow room that I would not use.
I'm just waiting for SPY to fall on its ass.
Yeah. When it hasn't been up here for a while, it's a little easier to hold. So when the first time it came down to touch a VWAP, you can see the candle just violently jerking as people were just battering it with sell-offs. That first little green bounce off of and then the confirmation candle, the first bounce off of VWAP, those candles were getting hammered, and you can see that the top of the candle just jerking. But the only thing that can hold on to that is a computer. there's the break that you're looking for. Now we stand a chance of holding this area because now we're up into a new channel. Resistance at 696.05.
Bastard. Bastard, you spy, you bastard.
And here's what it usually happens to me. Now that I'm stopped out of my double top, it's gonna pull back.
Really, the play with the play was off for scalpers was off of VWAP the second time, and then I pretty much just walked you through what was expected to happen, and it did it very nicely. So now that we're full on testing the 696, that's as clean a break as you can get into that upper channel. It's not saying that it won't do anything on the way down, but now your odds of holding that 690, 695, 27 to 40 area for support improves significantly. Now notice as that last gamma candle is getting pushed right up into that resistance area, watch what happens with the next candle here. Let's switch to a 2-minute chart. Because now you got a control candle set. So we need to find out if this is basically going to give you a little doji and then shoulder up and continue, or if it's going to fall back into the control area. And if you get a little doji here, then it sets up for a 3-candle reversal. But take a look at that candle. It's really not bucking a lot of sellers because this is pushing up into territory it hasn't been in for a very, very long time. And it sets it up actually for a higher push. Shouldered up. Let's see if anybody's going to take the risk. It's a dollar mark. It's a little difficult. There it goes. It's left a lot of the sellers behind. Now it's really up to institutions how they want to place it because it's pushed out of it's pushed out of kind of a high seller territory. Doesn't mean it won't. Wait for that 2-minute candle to close because now you're actually in a trend up and away from VWAP. That's why I said go ahead and take a look at the 2-minute. I should set a doji. All right, if you stuck with it, your contracts are now worth about $1.40 a contract. So effectively, you're up 100%.
Going to increase the puts.
I would not. Oh my God, if you're in puts, I'll reach through the screen and smack you.
Maybe that's what he wants.
Even if you're scalping, when you get trends that are that strong and that consistent, and you're breaking out of a chop area, the only thing that you're doing ideally is looking back to support areas and then re-entering a scalp in the direction that it's going. Don't ever assume because something's gone up so high that this is a great place to short it. There are times for that, but this isn't exactly the area. The reason being for that is institutions can hold on to it much easier here and consolidate it much easier. Again, this is charting discussion. I'm not trying to get people to trade SPY. You're out the top of the regression channel from what was set earlier based on those 2 points on VWAP. So if this actually holds, if this actually holds this area, then then either you've got an expansion of the regression channel ever so slightly, or it's stepping up bullishly into a whole new territory. Anybody who didn't get a chance to sell off in the 210 to 220 area yesterday got a whole nother chance today on WTI, because it moves as slow as molasses and literally takes like days in the same area. So it's a pretty forgiving stock. If anybody was paying attention to those call out areas. All right. Got a pair of dojis up there, and then depending on how far this comes back, it's either going to work the control area or reach 50% bounce, right?
Now SPY will pull back after. Now it just sits there after you're out of your
Jump to
short.
Apple. Yeah, I mean SPY's.
SPY.
We're past. We're going into 11 o'clock now, so I would expect SPY is just going to continue to do its little dance.
Do his
Doing
little
great.
dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Oh.
Google is a scalper's dream today. Really nice channel.
Sure did.
Amazon pulled back to the 21. So if you're an EWOer, you did not get stopped out. And for scalpers, it was a chance to re-enter.
AMD fizzled out.
Yeah, AMD has a pattern change now. Instead of coming back to the 21 and then bouncing up for a retest of the high of day, it's come all the way back to VWAP. So it is a low risk, high reward setup off of VWAP.
And just so everybody's clear, $7 away from all-time high on AMD. So 262 and some change. So of course they're not going to drive this up to 262 just yet, especially with the events coming up this week. But it has been doing really good things the last couple of days. So now we should be like on the 9th day, 10th day. But yeah, always remember that number 262 for high. 262 and some change.
And that's kind of in a weird formation too, because you're still above VWAP and you're in a second red EWO. But VWAP should be strong, right?
Yeah, I stand corrected. 266.95. And I must have not had my eyes on it that day. 266.95 leading up into the pre-market up till market open on the 23rd. But 262 was still a level. 262. 262.50 I had mapped out right here. 262.50. So 266.95. I have 266.85 mapped out, but yeah, that's going to be a while in order to get back to that level. I stand corrected.
Apple's gone into a wedge and it's consolidating and chopping around VWAP, so you don't do anything with it until it breaks and holds above 260.70 or below 259.65 for EWOers. Otherwise, scalpers do the things you do. Kind of interesting thing, Bitcoin actually kind of took a pretty strong breather this morning. But interestingly enough, for the first time, MSTR did not really get hammered along with it. So a move back to 87 would have put MSTX or MSTR, down into, where's it here? Go find my MSTR. Should have put it into the low 150s, but it's still around 158. And MSTX just dipped a little bit below the $4 mark, whereas last time that would have dropped it down to like 360, 370. So MSTR is starting to hold that consolidation area a little bit better, despite the moves in Bitcoin. So it's good that it's finding some legs. Wall Street's finding a little bit of confidence in it. Ridge Tech Robotics. We were going over this. Maria covered this yesterday afternoon as far as what kind of channels and stuff, for small accounts, and we were looking at support area around $3.72 to 74 cents. Actually, in the post market,
The ticker.
RR.
Thank you.
Ridge Tech Robotics.
Yep.
So it came down and filled the channel in the post market yesterday at 375, 376, close enough. I think we were looking at 373 for the support line, so within a couple pennies. So if you're paying any attention to that or picked some up last night, you were buying the channel nicely, and we got an unexpected really nice pop to the upside today that actually filled and completed the channel all the way up to $4.79, $4.80. It hit it in the pre-market, and then it basically just came back within a few pennies and validated it again. So even if you missed it, channel to channel, there was an opportunity to pick it back up this morning, right around the low fours, and I, there's no way you have of knowing that it was going to come back and get a full retest of that $4.80 mark. But we were talking about ways to hit 1% for a day, and Rich Tech Robotics has had as much as 40 cents a day of movement up or down. But you would just be looking to support resistance areas, the different channels, to make those trades. So between yesterday and today, we were looking at from 370 all the way to 470. So and on a $4 stock, on a $4 to $5 stock, you're only looking for 4 to 5 cents worth of movement. So pretty much, if a blind person could have whipped a dart and made 4 to 5 cents on this to get your 1% for the day. So if you're part of that 1%er club, that we're looking to grow your 2,000% a year, and do it affordably and not have a lot of money in account. This one, MSTX, WTI, there's quite a few opportunities to get 1%. So this would have been just a gift for us, because this really could have advanced you. If you were watching this at all, this could have advanced you potentially a week or more's worth of your 1%. So
Tom, I found another one that's great for small accounts. CRWG. It's a core weave 2 times, and it's like $5.
oh, nice. What's the volume on it?
Give me that.
Great,
Give me that ticker again. Give me that ticker again.
CRWG.
That way I can get the
Good job, Maria.
the YouTube crowd to stop complaining that we're not matching the screen to the discussion. CRWG.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's got volume too, 15, 16 million shares. That'll keep up with some stuff. Oh, beautiful. So along with MSTX and CRWG, you're able to follow larger underlying stocks. And that's a great one. Being able to follow CoreWeave for $4 to $6. Yeah, that's a great call.
Right? It was such a good find.
Such a good find. And 15 million shares, it doesn't matter your account size. You could literally trade 1 million shares of this, if you've got deep pockets, and find your percent. So initially your goal is just to make green trades, right? But pretty much if you stumble into a green trade, most people could hit 1%. And that's really your goal, is to get in, get green, get out. And over the course of time, you'll learn to stay in EWOs longer. You'll learn to scalp better. You'll learn to make better entries and stuff. Initially, your goal is just to make a percent. And if you can do that, we talked about basically, I don't know, like, what was it, $500 within 5 years makes you almost a millionaire. It doesn't have to be fancy. This is it. We covered a SPY trade that basically, if you're following the rules today and didn't get out of it, you made, there was a 100%er. Not that everybody needs to be trading SPY, but there's plenty of information in here. Plenty of information. Apple chat for the Apple move this morning. Bruno was calling out AMD and Apple, but the sooner you can get out of your own head and listen to these things and learn to paper trade them, it's a pretty valuable education. But again, you don't need to swing for the fences. You don't need the 100%ers. They're nice when they happen. But I will take a $4 to $5 stock all day, every day, and quite often I do. Quite honestly, I'll trade options and I'll park some money into into shares on something like MSTX, or now it's going to be CRWG. I'll be playing this absolutely.
All right, y'all. We have approached the 11 o'clock hour. You got a little taste of Palm Coast as we navigate the rest of the day. Of course, the live may end, but we keep going on the Zoom call, and that's what we do all day until 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to join us, free Discord is up on the screen. You can scan that barcode, join us over there in our Discord. And if you're looking to sign up for our memberships, we have, again, always premium membership, VIPs, VIP golds, diamonds. Feel free to use promo code Bruno at checkout for 10%. So that applies to all new signups. But feel free to use that promo code if you'd like. And we have, I'll show the premium yearly, 500. We have the 2-year, 750. We have our diamond, 5,000. I know it's a substantial jump, but there are memberships in between as well. So VIP Gold. And come join us. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with the cool kids. Discussions and conversations will continue throughout the day. But as always, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and thank all the moderators. I don't have a list, but I'm just going to start rattling off names. Thank you to Don, Bruno, Miranda, Arlo, Unhappily Housewife, Diesel Dan over on TikTok, Palm Coast Chris, David, Dawn I already mentioned, Maria, James, Miranda I already mentioned, and who else am I missing that's not on the call right now? Mark, Doug,
Ralph,
Ralph, F2,
Ralph, and
F2,
Richard.
F2.
Maria.
Richard doesn't count. He lost power, so his loss. Richard as well. So we'll see y'all again
Bucko,
tomorrow.
Chris.
Same bad time, same bad channel. Bucko, Chris. Bucko's probably dropping off his kids in the snow. But yeah, we'll see everybody again tomorrow. Thank you, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate all the likes and comments. Diamond lifetime membership, promo code Bruno, BRUNO.